Good evening. My name is Steve Johnson. I'm the director of the UAA Seawolf Debate Program, and I'm particularly pleased to welcome you all here tonight. We've gathered here tonight to engage in the most ancient and noble of academic pursuits, the search for truth through reasoned argument. And it's this search for truth that has inspired me to open my comments tonight with some personal revelations. Personal revelation number one. I know that UAA is going to lose tonight's debate. Tradition holds that the guests at an exhibition debate get to choose their side of the motion. In this case, when given the option, Harvard chose to defend the Second Amendment. That means that UAA is going to propose its repeal. Now, not only, you can give them a hand, that's fine. Not only am I fully aware that arguing that we should strip Alaskans of their gun rights is a bit like arguing that we should outlaw barbecue in Texas, but I'm also aware of the fact that we haven't repealed an amendment to our Constitution since 1920, and in that case, we did so to give ourselves more rights and not fewer. We also did so we could drink more. So it will come as no surprise to me tonight when at the end of the debate I call for a division of the House, and UAA, having proposed to repeal the Second Amendment, is soundly defeated. But that leads me to personal revelation number two. I don't care that UAA is going to lose the debate tonight. And don't get me wrong, I'm competitive. You can ask any member of my team, or perhaps more to the point, my wife. I hate to lose. And I hate to lose whether it's to Harvard or to West Undershirt Community College. I've dedicated my career to teaching people how to win debates, and I don't take that lightly. But that leads to revelation number three. The reason that I don't care is because I regularly practice deception. I mean, not generally, but about one aspect of academic debating in particular, I lie regularly. You see, I often promote the activity of academic debating by extolling its virtues as a training ground for students to develop their advocacy skills. And this perspective on debating is appealing because it suggests that we're sending out into the world students equipped to argue passionately and persuasively for social justice. And we do, and I'm proud of that. But the true virtue of academic debating lies not in making people better at arguing their positions, but in instructing them in the practice of reasoned, respectful discourse, regardless of what they're arguing. Now, much has been said bemoaning the state of public discourse in America, and for good reason. Our political debate often seems predicated on belittling and vilifying those with whom we disagree. Academic debating doesn't tolerate that. To retreat to name-calling in academic debating is the lowest form of offense, tantamount to sweeping the leg or kneecapping an opponent. But I have faith. I have faith in the process of debating. I have faith in these debaters. And I have faith in you as an audience, that we can elevate debate to its rightful place in the human experience. And on topics like this, where both sides have a legitimate claim to the positions that they take, we must. The motion for this evening's debate is this House would repeal the Second Amendment. Recent tragedies involving firearms have renewed our interest in the public policy governing their possession and use. While repealing the Second Amendment isn't currently a policy proposal receiving serious attention in our legislative process, it does frame a larger debate about the utility of our rights and our efforts to balance those rights against other competing interests. Proponents of the Second Amendment claim that our right to self-defense is innate, and that the articulation of a right to bear arms in the Constitution expresses the presumption that should be accorded those rights when framing public policy. Critics of the Second Amendment claim that it's inherently unclear and that it unfairly privileges one side of the debate about firearm regulation. Neither side has an exclusive claim to what's right, and both have legitimate arguments for their positions. It is those arguments that we've come here to test tonight. And I could think of no better advocates to test this question. Representing the opposition and speaking in defense of the Second Amendment are Coulter King and Josh Zoffer of Harvard University. Both of these guys have outstanding debating resumes. As a team, they won last year's American Parliamentary Debating Association National Championship Tournament. They won the North American University Debating Championship Tournament. And they qualified for elimination rounds at the 2013 World Universities Debating Championships. And just a couple of weeks ago, Josh, this time with a different partner, repeated and won the APDA championship again. On a special note, I should add that Coulter let me know that this will be the last debate of his academic debating career. And I'm confident that Anchorage will offer him an enthusiastic send-off. I'm also pleased to introduce the home team. UAA, represented by Amy Parent and Wiley Kaysen, will propose the motion arguing that we should repeal the Second Amendment. Amy and Wiley are longtime members of the Seawolf debate program and have each distinguished themselves in competition. Amy advanced to the elimination rounds of the 2011 World Universities Debating Championships and was twice a semifinalist at the U.S. Universities Debating Championships. Wiley has twice represented UAA at Worlds and had the opportunity to put his skills to practical use when he managed Hollis French's successful campaign for re-election. And both were part of the larger Seawolf squad who, in 2012 rankings published by the World Debating website, secured the University of Alaska the 9th ranked place debating program in the world. Tonight's debate will be modeled roughly after the type of debate that happens in international intercollegiate competition. We'll begin with a series of speeches by the proposition and the opposition to lay out their best arguments for and against the motion. During those 8-minute speeches, you're going to hear a bell when there's 1 minute in and 1 minute remaining in each of the speeches. It sounds like this. That bell indicates that points of information may be asked by the opposing side in the intervening 6 minutes of the speech. Points of information are brief interruptions from the opposing side and may take the form of a question or a brief statement. Keep in mind that the decision to accept a point of information is at the discretion of the speaker holding the floor. You may see debaters refusing POIs by saying not at this time or by merely waving their opponent down. They're not being rude. They're expected to manage their time appropriately. Following the constructive speeches, we'll open the debate to speeches from the floor to hear what you have to say. We'll call for those in the audience who want to speak